Welcome to episode 2 of Uggggh of Thrones for the episode called Home. In keeping with the first episode, this episode has been moving steadily along the plot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Breakneck pace here. It's kind of refreshing, actually. Instead of having to wait, stuff is happening.
Actually happening.
Yeah.
Little things first. Arya is kicking around.
Or being kicked around more likely, actually.
Yeah, she's still blind. She's a beggar. The girl who I guess also has no name.
They call her the Waif.
The Waif comes and beats her up. Arya's getting better, but she isn't doing like amazing. And then Jaqen comes and is like, just tell me your name. I'll give you your sight back. You can go home. I'll feed you, no biggie. And she's like, I have no name.
And so he lets her go back. She's not a beggar anymore.
Hopes that she will get her sight back soon.
I hope that she becomes like a super kick-ass assassin. Even if it's like a Daredevil level, no sight, that would be cool. I want her to kick ass and take names.
But see, if she kicks ass, she learns to kick ass and take names, it won't be for like the good of the realm, it will be for the House of Black and White.
Yeah. I don't care. Like, what has the main plot done for her other than make her extremely miserable?
It's true.
If she lets go of the main plot and just becomes like this crazy assassin for the House of Black and White, good on her. She has moved on. And I can respect that.
I guess that's what her plot is about, is moving on. Over on the other side, Tommen has forbidden Cersei from going to see Myrcella because that would upset all the Faith militant, and Cersei's not pleased.
Her scene with Tommen is just so ridiculous because she's like, oh, it's good to see you, and she's not looking at him, and she refuses to look at him until he's like, Mother, tell me what to do, help me. And I'm just like, great, child, you are going to become Cersei's puppet. She does not really like her children unless she can use them as her tools.
But at the same time, he's so easily manipulated.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Anybody, and even the High Sparrow, can just go in and fuck
Clearly,
with him.
Myrcella was the most legit out of all of the Lannister children.
Are you sure? Because she never really got a chance.
Yeah, I think that if she had been around, she would have had a chance. I mean, we got psychopathic Joffrey, pushover Tommen, and the only one who we don't really know about never actually got serious screen time. All we know is that she was the good one.
Yeah. The Mountain is kicking people's asses.
As the zombie mountain.
Yeah. Anybody who's bad-mouthing Cersei is getting...
That scene was just so out of place, though, where there's just this guy talking about how he exposed himself to Cersei. It's just like, haha, I guess we're trying to play this for laughs, and then the Mountain crushes his head. But it was just like, what does he do?
Necessary.
What does he do? Does he troll the streets just being like, someone's bad-mouthing Cersei? Whatever.
You know what? It's probably his hobby now.
Just to...
He's like, I need to kill someone. So who can I kill that no one will miss? The people bad-mouthing Cersei. Found one! It's just what he does now. It is his fun time. It is his me time.
Okay, his me time, whatever. But another character who is getting a lot of me time is Bran. Bran finally. So we're getting some actual background on stuff, specifically with the Starks through Bran, because in this episode, Bran is doing a vision quest thingy with the Three-Eyed Raven, and he sees his young father, he sees a young Benji, and he sees a young Lyanna, and a young Hodor. And Hodor had a real name, which was Willis, and he could talk.
Poor guy, you're wondering what the hell happened to him.
I'm not looking forward to them telling what happens, because it's going to be horrifying.
Oh, it's going to be awful.
And so Bran wants to stay and watch for a little bit longer, but the Three-Eyed Raven is like, no, and drags him out of the dream. And Bran's just like, I was finally home. And Three-Eyed Raven's like, hey, dude, it's pretty under the sea, but if you stay there, you're gonna drown. So I don't know what the Three-Eyed Raven's motive is. I still stand by the idea that Bran might become some super evil northern wizard.
I don't think so. I feel like the trees are connected to what's good. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but it's a wild religion. It is worshipping the wilderness, and the wilderness can be bad.
But you can't worship something if you're an ice zombie?
We don't know. We don't know anything about the ice zombies. For all we know, the freaking, like, the White Walkers are the equivalent of the Tolkien elves. We don't know. We have no idea. There's this really great Cracked article that, like, argues White Walkers are the good guys.
Yeah.
I will post that down below because it's a fun read.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what about the Children of the Forest? They were there first.
They're just hobbits, man.
But they're not ice zombies. I'm pretty sure they're against the ice zombies.
I don't know. Like, we know nothing. We know nothing. That, like, I'm waiting for the really big exposition dump with Bran, just so we know what's going on.
That'll be at the end of the season, for
But
sure.
I want it now, because I've, like, how long have we, like, been getting snatches about the White Walkers?
Oh, forever.
And specifically, like, that one scene a few seasons ago with the baby. The, I'm gonna turn you into a White Walker baby now. So, Sansa and Brienne are going to head towards the Wall, and Theon is abandoning ship and going on his merry way. I wanted him to stay with them, just because...
It was a good place for him to redeem himself.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get it. He's been away from home for so long.
But then there's Ramsay.
Oh, God, this fucker. Somebody needs to stab him in the neck. Like,
Well, Ramsay did one thing that you wanted him to do.
yes, he did.
When the Maester announced that Roose's wife gave birth to a son, Ramsay, like...
Lost his shit.
And killed his father.
Which was like, one of them is gone.
Yeah, it was just like, great. I would have rather had Roose, though. I would have rather had Ramsay die. The way they shot it was really interesting, because they were kind of trying to hide who was doing the stabbing. Because, like, they got in close for a hug, and then both of them were twitching, and I'm like, how amazing would it have been if they both drew knives?
Now that we have just one crazy asshole, he decides that, hey, since his father's dead, he doesn't need a little brother anymore, so he feeds Walda Frey and the baby to his dogs.
That was messed up.
See, if I were Walda Frey, I would have been like, well, I'm just gonna take a vow of silence. I am never speaking again. Like, quote me on this, never speaking again. And this is your son. Love him as your heir. that was like the only way she could have ever saved her baby's life.
Yeah. Ramsay has the North, and now he has to try and make friends with the rest of the North. And his father made a really, really good point, because Ramsay was like, okay, what we're gonna do is Sansa's clearly going to Castle Black. We're gonna attack Castle Black because it's not protected or defended on the south side. And Roose is just like, kid, you realize if you get a reputation as a mad dog, people are gonna treat you as a mad dog, which means they're gonna take you out back and they're gonna shoot you.
He's gonna do it. That's how he's gonna end himself.
The thing about him is he has stupid luck. Like, it doesn't make any sense. He has stupid luck.
But no, he's going to eventually undo himself. Like, he has to.
The way I see him dying is just so, like...
Pointless?
Pointless. It's gonna be something so stupid, like, someone's gonna stab him, and it's not gonna be anyone important. Like, he's gonna piss off, like, some, like, farmer, and the farmer's gonna stab him.
That would be amazing, though, actually. The only way his death could be really stupid is if he, like, I don't know, walks into the woods and a White Walker happens to catch him. Like,
that would be funny, actually, though.
Like, I don't know, just imagining his death, I can't really come up with a scenario that...
But the thing is, if it was a White Walker, it would be funny because he'd try and fight the White Walker. You know he would.
Can you come up with a scenario where his death is not the most amazing thing ever?
Old age.
Okay, fine.
Surrounded by a loving family.
Oh, that's never happening.
Of psychopaths.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that happened in this episode, which was a bit of a shock for me, is we're getting the Greyjoy storyline.
I thought they were gonna cut that out.
Yeah, they were talking about that they were cutting it out, but surprise, Balin is dead because his brother is back. Do we know who this brother is? No.
Well, you do in the book.
Yeah, but if you haven't read the book and...
Yeah. He's in the book!
He's in the book, he's crazy.
He's, like, not someone you want to cross paths with.
So Balin has a fight with Yara, and then, like, leaves the, like, keep and is on this bridge in this storm. And I'm like, okay, I get it. This is your home. But common sense wouldn't tell you to go across the creepy, creaky bridge in, like, a typhoon.
That's who they are. You can't take that away from them.
It's so stupid.
I know.
You're an old man. You're an old rickety man. And you're on a rickety bridge.
That's how I feel about the movie Point Break. I'm like, but you just need a safety... Oh, okay, you do you.
I think the best scene in the episode was Tyrion with the dragons. Specifically how he's just like, I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna release them. Like, this is not...
We're supposed to be the city with dragons, guys. We have to have dragons.
Oh my god. And so he goes down and he's talking to them and he's just like, don't eat the help. I'm a friend of your mother. And he like tells them a story of how when he was a kid, what he wanted for his name day was a dragon, and his father telling him that there were no dragons left and how he cried himself to sleep that night.
As he like undoes their collars.
I loved it because the dragons kind of go back into the bowels of the room they're in, and he picks up his torch and like scuttles up the stairs and turns to Varys and he's like, if I ever have an idea like this again, punch me in the face. I really hope he gets to ride a dragon at some point. Like that, I believe, would be just the ultimate wish fulfillment for him.
He will. I think he will. And I think his face will be glorious. Just like Kid on Christmas.
I hope for his sake. Because it's about time that he starts really winning. You know,
Yeah.
He's had so much shit luck. I want to see him come into his own fully. Even though his line of I drink and I know things was pretty much the summary of his entire character.
I think Daenerys could have respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing not to respect about Tyrion, to be honest. And he's amazing.
Yeah. Lots of stuff happened this episode.
You're forgetting the one important thing.
Oh yeah, right, the super, super important thing that nobody actually cares about, and that's Jon Snow is alive!
I love this scene, actually, because I had heard that, like, Jon Snow was back, and I was like, okay, fine. And so I tried to put myself in the mindset that I didn't know he was coming back. So Davos goes to Melisandre, and he's like, hey, can you resurrect Jon Snow? Because, he's dead, and I don't want him to be.
And Melisandre's just like, I've seen the gift before, but I don't have it. And Davos is like, but have you ever tried? And so, because Melisandre's having a crisis of faith, and he's like, I don't want the Lord of Light, I want you. And so she's like, fine, whatever. And so she washes Jon Snow, and she like... chants over him and like burns his hair, and everybody's like kind of like watching, just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? This is ridiculous.
And then like they're all like watching this dead body and they're like, this is stupid, I'm leaving. And they all leave. One by one, they all give up hope. Ghost is just asleep on the floor like, I'm chasing rabbits over here.
And the episode ends with Ghost kind of sitting up all excited and the camera landing on like Pat looking down on his face and him just
You're like, he's back.
I'm surprised it was so soon.
Me too. But then we were reading this article and they were talking about the writers and how they decided to do this, and they're like, well, like the longer we leave him on that table, the more he's like a rotted corpse. We decided to bring him back as soon as possible without putting it in the first episode.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how death changes Jon Snow, because you're gonna change.
You die, you're gonna come back a little different.
So it'll be interesting to see if it affects his personality somehow. Lots happened this episode. Like, a lot. Like, Jon Snow is back. We're 2 weeks behind, but Jon Snow is back.
I think this might be a really good season.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it continues.
Same.
Okay, so tell us what you think, guys. Is there a pointless death scene for Ramsay Snow? Because I can't think of one where I'm not super satisfied.
Old age.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count. Anyways, see you guys later.